Afternoon. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Steve. Bogdan. Afternoon, Reverend. Callum, Danny, Yoko, Yurch, Fletch, Crom. How are we doing? So, Tuesday, had some news. Nothing much exciting happening apart from that, but that's pretty exciting. Had some decent moves on the CAD. So, not a lot though. Bit. But yeah, nothing particularly exciting today so far. Afternoon, Virginia. So yeah, we've had start off with the news today. We've had the news for the CPI for the CAD this morning. It did bounce. We were expecting a bounce because the US is bouncing as well. So, well, it's going to bounce. Where's my pen gone? Yeah, so basically we're 0.6 on a forecast of 0.3. So they were forecasting it to go down and it went up. Median came out at 2.8. They were forecasting to stay the same annually, and the trimmed at 2.9, forecasting to stay the same. So what that means for the CAD is the interest rate drop that they've done. Not so much was too early, but obviously that isn't going the right direction. So the chances are there will not be a rate drop next month on the Canadian dollar because the inflation figures are going the wrong direction. So slightly bullish Canadian dollar puts it on the same level really as the US. It's too high, not going down fast enough. So we are neutral, back to neutral on the CAD. We was bearish on it. Definitely not going to be dropping those interest rates now, are they? So Canadian dollar had a little bit of a rally, a bit of a spike down. We've got 125 ADR on the US CAD, Aussie CAD, US CAD 125. There we go. Aussie CAD spiked down to ADR. CAD Swiss spiked up, but as you can see, it's not a massive reaction. This because we've dropped interest rates. We were kind of expecting it potentially to be not quite as good as they were forecasting. So just basically a slight bullish move. Whether or not that continues, we'll have to wait and see. We've run straight into this big propulsion back gap on EuroCAD. As you can see, they're holding it up. So it's not a massive move on that CAD. Other news we've got today, we've got consumer confidence at 3, half an hour after market open. So we may get some movement off of that. The forecast is to come out at 100 from a 102. So the forecast is very, very marginal difference anyway. So if we get somewhere around about that level, I doubt we'll get much of a move off of that. And that's it for the rest of the day. So tomorrow morning is the CPI. So that was for the Australian dollar. So that was the main news this week we've just had. Didn't really set the world on fire. But we'll wait for the market to open. We'll see if we can get some more movement out of that. But for the Canadian dollar, that's certainly going to scupper any interest rate drops that were planned for July if they've got them, because that CPI number, if it's not going down, they're not going to drop rates. So we're stuck again on the CAD, more sideways movement. Other than that, not an awful lot of news this morning. There's the there you go, July rate cut chances fall to 54% from 65%. So market basically saying doesn't look like they're going to drop rates. It's still 50-50. Could happen, but if the US haven't come out and said anything about dropping rates anytime soon, the Canadians are highly unlikely to do it either. So we'll wait and see. You see the uptick there. We were looking for a downtick. So there's the 2.9. Other than that, we've had Bowman doesn't see any rate cuts for 2024, shifted cuts back to 2025. So again, that's bullish US dollar, more neutral bullish. I'm still open to raising rates if inflation doesn't improve. So yeah, it's coming down, but not quite enough. And the only other news we had this morning was, if I can find it, I shared concerns over weakness of the yen and won with my South Korean counterpart. We will closely monitor currency moves. That's coming from Suzuki from Japan, obviously, because that US dollar yen isn't stopping. The US dollar yen I got into yesterday, really wishing I hadn't. Again, I don't know why I do it. So got triggered on all 3 positions on the spike. And yeah, it's back up where it was before and likely to go above 160. So not a lot I can do about this. I really don't want this to ruin my month, but I think there's a high probability it will. But we'll wait and see. Don't want to be a pessimist, but it's the end. So yeah, so US dollar yen, we're back up approaching. They had a go at an intervention yesterday. It failed dramatically again. They got nothing. They got nothing, these Japanese. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I really don't. So they haven't announced that as an intervention, but that, you know, is a 125 ADR move in 5 minutes. That's not a normal order, is it? So we're approaching the 160. The only hope I've got is at 160, they collapse it. So my next position is going to be above 160. Giving it a go. Not sure I should, but it doesn't matter how many times I tell myself I shouldn't be doing something. You have this urge when you see things happening. But this US dollar at the moment is rallying off the back of the Canadian. So this move that we're seeing here is a Canadian dollar rally rather than a US rally. So it may not get back above that yesterday's high or even today's high. So we're sitting at today's high now. We may well get limits at today's high where they drove it down, adding back into that position and holding this, which looks ominously like a flag. Anyway, we will see. So market's opening in 7 minutes. So that's all your news covered. I'll go through the ADRs. Be careful of these ADRs today. US dollar CAD's reset for some unknown reason. Weird. So US dollar CAD, obviously they're all Canadian dollar. So it's a new spike. I got out of the US dollar CAD just before the news. Obviously, just like I keep saying, I feel like a broken record, but bank stuff before the news that is related to anything that's newsworthy. So I banked the CAD. Well, tried to anyway. Got stopped out on a lovely pound CAD. Look, that was a break even. Yeah, so I put a break even stop on that position because we were up here. So I thought, yeah, I'll put a break even on it just in case we get some bullish CAD news. And they slipped me almost an ADR and took a $350 loss off me. Thanks, broker. That was a break-even stop loss being slipped during news. So it goes to show, again, I keep saying it, doesn't matter where you put your orders. If you put limit orders, stop loss orders in the market, you've signed a contract with your broker to get them to execute your order at the best price available. If they can make a load of money out of that, they will do. So they made $350 taking the opposite side of this trade by slipping me down to there. Good job, innit? But that's what happens. This is why we don't use stop losses. However, I do like to use them in break-even positions if I've just got singles on, because if this now collapses, I'd rather not be in a position on it. So I'm happy. Well, not happy, but I'm not that bothered about taking that loss. It's only a little one, and I'm positive on the day. So yeah, US dollar CAD extended, pound CAD ADR. It's already bounced a half an ADR back up. Euro CAD hit ADR, bounced off, and so is Aussie CAD. So these are new spikes, new spike ADR hits. You wouldn't have got into them on any signal. It's just the news spike. So no real ADRs today. RSIs. I just noticed, like I have these drinks basically, which are chai latte, which is powder, and doesn't matter how much you stir it. Can't see it. You can sort of, but some of the powder never dissolves, and it floats in the middle of the drink. It's really annoying. Anyway, so I'd share that. So RSIs today, there aren't any. There's no hourlies. All done. We've only got a couple of 4 hours, and again, funnily enough, it's exactly what we just looked at on ADR. It's all the CADs. So the CADs are extended on the 4 hours. Only just though, just got to 70s and 30s. So not the greatest signals in the world at the moment. But you got CAD Swiss sitting up there on the 4 hour. But it's been sitting and embedded now all week, but it's not really gone anywhere much. So, and that Canadian dollar is potentially bullish now. So we will see. And obviously this move is caused by the weak Swiss franc. off the back of their interest rate drop they didn't tell us about. So there's not really anything much to look at on RSIs either today. So I did all the analysis of all the pairs yesterday, so I'm not going to go through everything again today. But if there's anything specific you want to look at, obviously let me know. We'll look at the indices at the open. Beautiful opens today. FTSE and DAX, absolutely beautiful. So straight down. I think the DAX, you got 4R, clean break. I took 3. No, I didn't. I took $640. I took a 2R and another 2R, I think, on that one. And the FTSE was a clean break straight down as well to 3R. And again, I took it off. I took one off there. Actually, I took both off there. Yeah, 330. So done $1,000 on those today. It was quite nice. Still going though, FTSE. But we'll watch the US indices, see how we go at the open. Afternoon, Sagar, Monkey. On the normal RSI reversion, are you using RSI 14 or 21? Depends what time frame. 21 on the hourly, 14 on the 4 hour. But those are just what I use. Use whatever you want. There's no right or wrong. Just because I use them doesn't mean they're right. I just need a signal. I need a condition. You can use any number you like. Nothing's better than anything else. Yeah. So if you've got an RSI extension there on the 21, that was the wrong signal. Yeah. You'd have been better off waiting for a different RSI. Not really any you could have used that would have helped you in that case. It just didn't work. So just use whatever you want. There's no right or wrong, just different. Test all this stuff. You can test all of this in the back test with the Position Trader EA. You can use whatever RSIs you like. What will happen is you will have different trades taken at different times, going into different drawdown, and that is it. That's all that it is. It's a case of we're measuring something's moved. How far it's moved and how fast it's moved will be determined by the different RSI numbers, and that's preference. So pick whatever you want, really. But 21 on the hourly and 14 on the 4 hour is kind of what I've always preferred as the sweet spot. But I'm much preferring RSI 2 at the moment. I'm running tests on that, and I'm running it on another account at the moment, and it is absolutely killing it at the moment. But market's very rangy at the moment, so I'm waiting to see what happens when it goes into a squeeze. Short Nasdaq, no trade on the S&P. Range is too small. Short on the Dow. Let's see if the US indices can replicate the short plays from this morning's European indices. It's going for a 2R on the first break there. And 3R on afternoon. Inosuke Sato. Sounded good. Afternoon, Neo. David. I'm a little upset. I was in the green on the US dollar CAD, up around 1.45%, but I held it. And of course, the CAD figures came out good. That's why I always tell you every day, without fail, bank everything before the news. Can't get it back. I would say I went into about 5% drawdown and none of my positions closed out. I will have to double check my VPS and EAs to make sure I have that set up properly. We'll see what happens with the US news. The US news could undo the CAD move. It could also bolster it. So wait and see. Afternoon, George. Can you look at gold? Nope. Don't trade gold. Afternoon, XR update.news. I can look at gold, but it's doing the opposite to the US dollar. So have a look at Euro US dollar. If you want to know what to do with gold, look at Euro US dollar. Whatever that is doing, yeah, do the opposite. Yeah. Because that's actually, no, that's what gold's doing, isn't it? So Euro's coming down against the US dollar. So gold will be coming down So this is, in effect, this is pretty much a gold chart. If you go and look at gold now, I can't look at it because I haven't got it. I don't trade it. But if you go and look at gold, that's what it's doing. I would imagine. Going down. There's Euro US dollar, which is nice. I've got a trailer on that as well at the moment. Just put it on because of the news. Wow, these indices are really exciting, aren't they? S&P is the only one that's actually broken with any strength. Got about 1R on that, just about on the pre-market, but market's trying to go short but struggling today. Can't get any help. S&P is going nicely though. S&P just about to break this most recent low. So potentially we got flushed down to last week's low, which is Friday's low. Sorry, not Friday's low. That's yesterday's low. It's Tuesday. So yeah, there's a flush down to yesterday's low potentially if the S&P can break. But it doesn't look like it's going to because the Nasdaq's pushing. A lot of volume coming in, but no direction at the moment. So your 5-minute opening ranges are about to go in a minute. So that's our opening ranges at the moment. Not anything particularly exciting. Big guy, how dare you? Afternoon, JC. It's so hot in here. We've got 25 degrees in the UK. 25. It's amazing. But with 2 PCs on and 3 monitors, get a little bit warm in here. I'm going to have to get the fan out soon. Right. Got 30 seconds to go on the 5-minute range. No movement. So the open basically was just a whipsaw, no direction. Although Nas is just ever so slightly bearish at the open, but the bulls are not letting this market drop today. So getting the feeling I may get a hedge today. Oh, there you go. Nasdaq suddenly popped at the end there, but okay. So there's the opening range on the S&P. Didn't manage to get through those lows. So very, very hard work for the bears today to try and get through the shorts, through the lows. See where we go. Just a quick update on the FTMO account. Up to 5.28 now. Just banked 0.41 off of new stuff today. I've taken 2 shorts on that account, one US dollar yen, and I've also taken an Aussie yen, but the Aussie yen I've got sitting at break even, which looks like it's about to get broken. So I just wanted to reduce the risk on this yen because this US dollar yen is probably going to stop out. And if that stops out, I would imagine the Aussie yen will rally as well. So the only reason I've got these shorts on is purely on the back of an intervention move because they keep talking about it. They tried to have a go at doing it yesterday. That's the only reason I got these shorts on. Other than that, I think the US dollar yen's going to 165. If they don't intervene, there's nothing. It's just going to go. So I can't press the long button on it though, not with the threat of intervention. So I'm just going to stay out. But I've got these FTMO ones on because it's a pass basically. If they intervene, I've passed. Only reason I've got them on. So I just shut the whole account out and tick, done. But we'll see. So up 5.5%. Just waiting on the rest of that at the moment. Propulsion gap is holding on the pound US. Good wicks to the downside there. 3 downside wicks on the pound US dollar. So buyers are holding this. looking good. Although the news is obviously coming out at 3 o'clock, so this is going to move on the news. I've also got Euro US. So it's going to tighten the stop on that. So I'm looking basically for positive US news to drive that down, but my overall exposure really is negative on the US. So I don't really mind which way this one goes today. Pound US and Euro US, I've got in opposite directions, so it doesn't really matter where it goes. I'm going to make money either way. I'll just deal with the other one afterwards. Oh, brilliant. Right, broken short on the NASDAQ, hedged on the Dow, broken short on the S&P. Afternoon, Abdi. So on the NASDAQ, just looking for a flush down into the lows. Dow upside target as it's hedged. I will go with yesterday's high. And I'll just go ADR low, I think, at the moment on the Dow. See if we can get out of one of those. S&P. I'm just going to go with this. Yesterday's low and the pre-market low are roughly 2R. So if we do get a bounce down to there, you've got the pre-market low where the buyer stepped in. You've got yesterday's low where the buyer stepped in. So you've got two strong buy levels here. So if we do get down to there, I'll take that off because we're likely to get a pop out from there if it gets there. But it doesn't look like it can break short today. It's going to be 3 hedges, isn't it? Lovely, isn't it? You get 2 beautiful breaks in the morning, and then you have 3 completely confused markets to deal with in the afternoon. Don't know why I'm drinking hot drinks on a 25-degree day, but anyway. Habit. Right. Give it another couple of minutes on that. If anybody's got any pairs they want to look at, let me know. But otherwise, there's not really a lot to discuss today because there's no more news apart from consumer confidence, which is obviously going to drive the US either way. And then we're waiting for the Aussie. So if you've got any Aussie exposure on or New Zealand, I've got New Zealand long, nothing on Aussie at the moment. So if you've got any exposure on your Aussie or New Zealand that's in profit, bank that tonight before you go to bed, because tomorrow you may well find that the Australian dollar has rallied in one direction or the other. So with the Aussie, we are looking basically bullish because they have said that their interest rates potentially may go up. The interest rate is 4.35 at the moment. Inflation is too high. It is coming down, but that was the last figure. So what we're interested in is what we're going to get this time round. So the forecast is 3.8, which is going to be a rise. So they're forecasting inflation to bounce back up again. And there is a possibility, if that happens, that we may well see another interest rate rise coming on that Australian dollar, which is obviously going to make it bullish. So anything you've got Aussie or New Zealand, look at something else. Potentially, if that does get a positive CPI figure tomorrow, you're going to be flying up that way. Obviously, if it comes out a negative, it doesn't mean they're going to drop interest rates. It means they're not going to increase them. So you may well just get a whipsaw type move. But overall, they are bullish, the Aussie and the New Zealand. So if you've got anything in profit, anything green, stick it down there because, as David's just found out, if it goes the wrong way, you lose it. If it goes the right way, the other positions you've got in profit will go into profit, won't they? Yeah. So take it and don't gamble on it suddenly making you a fortune. Just take the money because if it goes against you, you'll be annoyed. So take the profit when it's there. But that's not coming out until early hours of the morning, so you need to do that before you go to bed tonight. And the only other news we've got tomorrow is new home sales, which won't do anything at all. So, yeah, a bit of a weak news week this week, but we'll have a look at all the instruments tomorrow. We'll go through every Forex pair one by one and see how they're all going. Has anyone tried to run position trader EA on all 28 pairs with a 1K laptop? No idea. First of all, it's an EA. You shouldn't be running it on a laptop. You should be running it on a VPS or on a server. Don't run EAs on a laptop, because if your laptop shuts down or you close your laptop, your EAs aren't running, are they? Yeah, you want a VPS. Never run any trading EA on a machine that is not on 24/7, 365. Unless you're intraday. If you're intraday, something like stock index hedge, for example, yeah, run this, no problem, because you're shutting the positions end of day, aren't you? So it doesn't matter. But position trader EA is a longer term EA, so you don't shut it down. Oh, Nasdaq, S&P, don't hedge me, for crying out loud. I'm gonna wipe out all the morning's profit. Look how uncorrelated these things are today. Look. And now all of a sudden that's rallying, that is collapsing completely. Totally out of sync, the whole lot. So this big bear candle, I mean, all these candles we've got going in at the moment, they're all kind of inside bars on the open still. Yeah, I mean, that's our kind of, that's what we've had so far at the open. So we've not really gone anywhere yet, have we? I have my setup on a laptop, but utilize a VPS on my laptop as well. If you're going to run it on a laptop, it's no problem. Basically, a computer. It's a computer. I've got a computer sitting here in my office, which is my VPS. It's just a computer. It's just a Windows desktop. It's on there 24/7, 365. Never turn it off. You can do that with a laptop. It's fine. Just be aware of auto update, though. That will auto update and restart. Still stuck on euro pound? What, long? I got out of euro pound yesterday. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's just not going anywhere. We gapped down on the French Parliament collapse. We dropped for a couple of days. 2 weeks later, we're still just sitting there waiting to do something, aren't we? We haven't gone anywhere. It's just not doing anything. It comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up. It's coming down. It'll probably go up later or tomorrow. It's just not. There's just no momentum. This whole market is still flat as a pancake. Look at what's happened on this. You've had nothing happening. You've had a news event. We're waiting for the next news event on the euro or the pound. We've got Bailey speaking on Thursday morning. Bailey, I'm hoping Bailey will say that we're going to drop the rates on the pound next month. In which case, obviously, the pound is going to strengthen. That's going to collapse. If he comes out and says we've hit target, but it's still too early to see, we want to be below 2%. You know, we're just waiting for news all the time. It's horrible, horrible market. It's been like it for 18 months now. We're completely news driven at the minute. And the rest of the time you sit around doing nothing, which is why the RSI2 strategy is making an absolute killing. 53% gain this month. 53%. Not doing anything. Clever. That's that set file that I posted for RSI2. High risk though. Been testing it and it seems to give really nice scalping opportunities, the RSI2. Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. Killing it. I'm doing back tests at the moment. I'm running one now. Look. This is the RSI2 strategy. So I've run all tests on RSI2 on the hourly time frame. I've done it all on the daily time frame. I'm running tests now on a H4 time frame. So this is running H4. How many is this done? 1542. Oh, look at that. That's a nice test. I don't know if you can see that, but we are on test number 1549 and 1549. You can't see it, but you can see the count going down the left-hand side. 1549 are profitable. So this is running on the euro pound 4-hour time frame. Every single system parameter permutation test is profitable. Yeah, every single one. 100% strike rate. You would. Doesn't matter what you would have done if you'd have been trading the 4-hour time frame. What settings am I using? So if you were trading the 4-hour time frame, using RSI2 daily 9010, what moving average entry am I using? 2 SMA. So basically getting straight in on a bull candle or a bear candle. And it doesn't matter if you closed your positions out at 1 ADR, 1.5 ADR, or 2 ADR. And it doesn't matter if you targeted half an ADR, 1 ADR, all the way up to 3 ADR as a target. And it doesn't matter if you used a 1, a 1.25, all the way up to martingale as a lot multiplier. And it doesn't matter if you got in a quarter of an ADR up to 1 ADR apart. It doesn't matter what you did. On the 4-hour chart, if the RSI2 was extended and you waited for a bull or a bear candle and entered the market, regardless of what you targeted, regardless of where you put your risk parameters, every single one of those over a 4-year period generated alpha. It just doesn't go wrong. It's amazing. I almost feel like I've discovered the Holy Grail. The problem is, which really annoys me, I've been trading for 16 years. Larry Connors invented this 2 decades ago. I just didn't find it. I did find it. I knew all about it. I just never, ever tested it. Now I'm testing it. I think I might retire. Yeah, making a lot of money. Which computer server do I use? That one. It's a Dell Optiplex. And I got it from I can't remember where I got it from, but it's one of these. It's that one. That one. You going to load or not? Why is it not loading? Well, it's the Dell Optiplex. That one. Why is it not opening? That one. i5, 16 gig, and an SSD. But you could go for that one, I guess. That's a slightly lower processor. Doesn't matter. I mean, anything like this, you'll be able to run like 10 MT4s with 28 pairs open constantly, and it won't even bat an eyelid. Honestly, it won't make any difference. But this is what I use. Just because it's small, it's quiet, sits there, just does its thing. But if you get Windows 11 Pro, it's just better than Windows Home. That was close. Nearly got hedged in on the NASDAQ. Still in short only though, so that's good. This market's a mess today. There's no directional bias at all. It's just chop. Everyone will be being killed today. We've got 8 minutes to the news. I'm going to hang around until the news. So yeah, the euro pound, I still think there's a chance that we might get that. We should get that gap fill. The thing that concerns me is we went for the gap fill yesterday and immediately rejected, which to me looks like orders triggering in the gap. So it may well be that this here, this unfinished business between that area and where they drove from yesterday, that may just be written off as loss. So that move that you see here could be the gap already filled. And now the market obviously is just carrying on as it should do, bearish on the euro. But obviously we've got pound also to think about as well. So, but you know, as long as that low's not broken, ADR today, if they bounce back off of ADR today, you're just holding this range. But get out when you can. I got out yesterday, but just a pain in the backside at the moment, isn't it? Do you have a video with an explanation on it? No, it's RSI2. It's literally, it's RSI2. Yeah, so you change this, do this, look. Change that to that. Yeah, that's it. It's below 90, below 10, long it. If it's above 90, short it. It's that simple. There's no, it's not complicated in any way, shape, or form. There's no filters. Your signal to get in is whatever you want. For me, it's so your signal to get in. If you want to use this, I've got 2 EAs that will trade this for you right now. You can either use the position trader EA, which will use a moving average as the signal, which is what I'm using. And you can use a moving average. You can use a 5, use a 9. If you want to use higher time frames, use a smaller one like a 5 or a 2, 4 hour. It doesn't matter what you use, but you're basically trading the RSI2 on the daily. Yeah, when that's below there, whatever time frame you want to enter on, hourly, 4 hourly, whatever, 15 minutes, you just wait for a signal, wait for bulls to enter the market. So if RSI2 on the daily is extended down here below 10, wait for the bulls to start that and get in. If it doesn't work out, doesn't work out. Set your stop somewhere around about an ADR, 1.5 ADR, 2 ADR, some distance away. Doesn't matter, it all works, some distance. And hopefully they will pull it back at some point during the day or the next day. And then get out. Honestly, there is no right or wrong. You've got to try and get away from intricate details. Yeah, this is what I'm testing here. This system parameter permutation test I've just run on the pound US dollar this morning. 1,911 system parameters permutations are profitable out of 2160. Yeah, so I've run a test on the pound US dollar using the daily RSI, and I'm entering on the 4-hour time frame when there is a bull candle or a bear candle. Yeah, while that RSI2 on the daily is extended. I've run 2,160 tests to see which multiplier is the best. No multiplier all the way up to martingale. Whether I should be getting in 1/4 of an ADR up to 1 ADR, yeah, with additional entries. Whether I should target half an ADR up to 2 ADR as a target with a single position and a multiple position trade. And whether I should get out of the market if it goes against me 1 ADR up to 2 ADR. There's 2,160 combinations of the strategy I've just tested, and 1,911 of those 2,160 all produce profit over 4 years. Doesn't matter what you do. When it's down, they will go up. That's all it is. How far? We don't know. Whether it goes up and then comes down, we don't know. Whether you can get out intraday, or you need to wait to end of day, or it takes 2 days to play out, or 3 days, or it works 1 day. I don't know. Doesn't matter, does it? what I'm doing on this account here is I'm checking it every few hours, and if there's a profit, I'll put it down here. There you go, look. Aussie dollar yen's in profit. Shut it. Stick that down there. Profit. Hopefully these will play out. If they don't, they'll stop off. They'll stop out. That's it. But the strike rate is 80% plus. On a bad run, that doesn't make a lot of profit, you're looking somewhere about 65% strike rate. So if you can get a 0.5 to 1R return with an 83% strike rate, you're making money. Doesn't matter what you do, honestly. This is why Larry Connor's used it for such a long time. It's bloody brilliant. But he only used it on the S&P 500. What I'm doing is I'm testing parameter permutations on Forex. Never tested on Forex. And it's, I would say, as good, if not better, because I've got 28 opportunities to take a trade every day. He only had one. I've got 28 times the potential to make money. Even better, isn't it? Would you favour RSI2 over H1M5? I don't know yet. It's not a position trading strategy, don't forget, Thought Feeder. It uses a stop loss. It's not a position trading strategy. We are taking multiple trades. So in that respect, it's kind of position trading, but it uses a hard stop. So it's a hybrid, I would say, between position trading, because we're getting into multiple trades and we're using lot multiplication if you want to. But you're, at the end of the day, if the trade's wrong, you're out. So you're going to hemorrhage money when the market doesn't do what the market needs to do for this strategy, which is go up and down all the time. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as it makes money, isn't it? I had to laugh when you mentioned Betfair and BetAngel. I used to trade the over and under 2 to 3 goals. Yeah, that was a good market. There was another really good market on Betfair as well. Can't remember what it was, but it was one of those markets that throughout the match, the odds get wider and wider. I think it was first corner or first booking or something like that in football. So when the match kicks off, the odds are tight. And as the match goes on, the odds get wider and wider and wider. So literally, it's one of those ones where you get in and literally after about 10 minutes, you can get out with a profit because there hasn't been a corner and there hasn't been a booking. And usually most football matches start off pretty tight. So there's loads of markets you can make money off, but it is gambling at the end of the day, though. You know, it's good fun. I used to love it, especially on the horses. I own the MRA EA, but not the position trader EA. Can the MRA EA be set up with the settings similar to RSI2? Yes, of course it can. It uses RSI, doesn't it? Yeah, just change. You know the settings in it, Sagar, where you got RSI. Higher time frame RSI you set to daily. You put it on whatever time frame you want to trade on entry wise. It's a multi-time frame strategy, same as all of the rest. Have you run tests on RSI2 strategy even on the Swiss and the yen? Yeah. No, not on the Swiss and yen. Well, it does work on the Swiss and yen, yeah. No, it doesn't work on the yen. It does work on the Swiss, but not as good. So I would minimize your risk on the Swiss is all I would say. News has just come out. Bullish US. I'm absolutely baking in here. I need to the fan. So bullish US marginal is a 0.4 differential. So it's basically as expected, but it is slightly bullish. So we may get a bit more of a run on the Euro US and the Pound US. Probably start to go wrong. I've got a break-even stop on this as well at the moment. In fact, I might just bank this. Just going to bank Should have used the button then, shouldn't I? I'm just banking the pound US dollar. Only reason I've had this as break even, I've been in this now for 3 days and it's gone nowhere. We've gone into drawdown, we've gone slightly into profit. We've hit this propulsion gap, which this morning immediately got sold off. And we've just had bullish news on the US dollar, which is obviously going to, if they do run on the bull news, it's going to drive it back down. So I might as well just bank that 100 and whatever that was, stick it in the bank. Euro US dollar, however, I have got the right side on because bullish US dollar news is going to drive Euro US down. Target is the lows. And I've got a tight trailer. So I'll get whatever I get out of that, which will give me basically 0.5% today. Not a lot else moving. Brilliant. Hedged on the NASDAQ. So there's $600 of this morning's $1,000 profit hedged. S&P still short only. Dow, we've just run into the low there. Private number, probably my broker. What do you mean 53% profit? We're just running into this high, which is last week's high. It was a double top. We can get through this. We just got all this chop, which we'll probably find some support in, but it may well bounce off of this. Worth keeping an eye on the Dow at this level. See if we get support. NASDAQ upside target. That's a bit close, isn't it? Going to go with ADR to the upside on the NAS if it gets there. And downside on the NAS, I'm just going ADR again. That's probably going to be locked in as a hedge loss today, that one, unless we get an ADR hit. I've got the profit targets in place on that one. That's going to hedge as well. God, what a nightmare. You make $1,000 in the morning, the market takes the whole lot away in the afternoon. Joys of trading, eh? New Zealand dollar CAD, if you're in that long, which I've been in long now for a while. First entry was there on that extension. We've just kind of gone sideways and dropped basically on this. We're expecting a bit of New Zealand dollar strength to come through, but now we've just had that CAD news. These are both kind of slightly bullish against slightly bullish, so I haven't really got a problem with this at the moment, but I might just move targets down on this to 225 ADR, which is this high here, which is that previous low, just to make sure it doesn't go into a range and me get stuck. There's only 2 positions on it. No, it's not. It's 3. Sorry. So that one's just totally stuck at the moment. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, again, not really gone anywhere. This going to that there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days sideways. Just watch that tomorrow. And obviously US dollar yen. So that's coming down a little bit. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. No, it's not. I thought I was in more drawdown than that. Oh, yeah, I've got really low position sizing on this. So, yeah, it's not in a lot of drawdown. I'm not going to go heavy on this at all. It's going to cost too much in swaps. Go on, S&P. You might as well complete the set. I see the slippage patrol was on the prowl. Yep, got properly slipped today. Pound CAD. Yeah. So that position there was a break-even stop loss. Look, it's back to break-even. So basically what my broker has done is literally just stolen $340 odd out of my account by not giving me the order I asked them for and delivering me an order completely different. And now the market's gone back to there, and it will probably rally up to my TP, which was up in that propulsion gap. So if this pushes up to 200 ADR today, I'll be less than pleased. That's part of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. Slippage is slippage. Dangers of trading around the news. This is one of the reasons all the prop firms go, you cannot trade around news, because if they were taking the other side of your trade, they would lose a lot of money because you get positive slippage as well as negative slippage. So if they were farming your orders out to dark pools and it was real money, then that's why you wouldn't be able to trade the news. But as we know, it's all fake. So why the hell can't we trade for the news? You're not doing it for real. Let's just do it. Larry Connor, yeah. Fun times with tennis. Yeah, I did try trading tennis on BetAngel, but didn't really get far with that. Anything that is golf was good. Golf was good. But anything that is one-on-one, I found quite difficult, especially with tennis, because it's a little bit like trading. 80% of tennis matches go game, 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 break of serve, game, game, set. Yeah, that's usually the variation you get in a tennis match, because you serve, you win the game. They serve, they win the game. Yeah, it's not often you get someone that goes serve, break, game, and wins 3 sets to love like that, is there? But as long as tennis matches go like that, you could make very small amounts of money over and over and over and over again. But when you've got a tennis match that went like that, you tend to get absolutely killed, because because you're making a book, you go into drawdown, don't you? So I found some of the matches you just get killed on, and they give away all the profits of that, because the market doesn't spin itself being range bound, does it? When someone like Serena Williams is playing some unseeded player, it's basically 6-love, 6-love. You end up losing all your money. It's fun. You can't make a living out of it. Don't go off and Google BetAngel now. Let me get an affiliate link set up first and I'll post it. Seriously, don't. You'll lose your life. I don't mean you lose your life, but you'll lose your entire life trying to make money betting and becoming a professional gambler. That's why I was doing it. You can become a bookmaker, though, but you're going to need a big pot of cash. Again, like trading, you can't become a bookmaker on Betfair without a serious amount of dough, not to make any serious money anyway. Afternoon, does the position trading EA comes with any instructions or installation? Not for installation, no. There is nothing to do. You literally download it and use it. But if you want to see, I think in my video on my VPS, I do drag it onto the chart, but there's no real instructions on installation, because you literally just download it from the marketplace and use it. Like everything, you just drag it onto the chart. Yeah, so there is no installation. You open a new chart. Yeah, you drag the EA onto the chart. Drop. Opens up the window. Yeah, you set it up with whatever settings you want. You press the OK button. That's it. That's installation. There's more configuration, if you like. Get out a break even on the US dollar CAD or hold. After that wick, I would say hold. I'm out. I go out on it. Yes, that's a lovely trade. Straight in, straight out. No, I'm out. But hold. My target was only here. The reason I got out on that one here was because my target was there, which is 150 ADR today, and we had news. So I literally got out because of the news. Otherwise, I would still be holding it long. But now the CPI has bounced on the CAD. You've kind of got a bull against a bull here, haven't you? So I don't really see any reason to do anything but stay in it. Stay in it until the RSI gets extended, then get out, and then jump in short. That's all I've been doing. In, out, short, long, short, long. There's a good target up there as well, but you're not going to get there for a good couple of days because there's not enough news on the US this week. Unemployment on Thursday wouldn't move it, but other than that, there's not a lot else this week to really move the market. Just about to get hedged on the S&P. This is going to be a long afternoon, isn't it? What a whipsaw. So S&P, when that hedges, which it will do, I might as well wait for it to hedge and then I'll adjust the targets. One. Yeah, hedged. So S&P targets yesterday's high to the upside. Which is also ADR today. So target upside. Yesterday's high. We'll find some limit orders triggering there. Downside target. There's no real support anywhere down here apart from yesterday's low, which is the pre-market low. So as they've bought that up, chances are we'll probably break long. But if it gets down to this area, it's a bit too close to be getting out of a hedge because there's quite a long way down to the average daily range of the instrument. So we've got potential propulsion gap here at 4R. Other than that, it's this low, which is ADR. So as I've had a good morning, and this is not going to really lose me any money, just going to break even basically on the day. I'm just going to go with ADRs on everything today. And if it goes ADR, I'll get out with profits. If it doesn't, it's just a hedge day today, which is annoying after the morning. But anyway. Right, well, that's it for news. There's nothing much else to discuss today, really. So we're just waiting basically for tomorrow morning's Aussie CPI. The Canadian dollar doesn't seem to have done a lot off that news. The US has undone the CAD move pretty much. So it's just a case of sitting and waiting, really. So I'm going to bank Euro US as well today at some point shortly by the looks of things. So either it's going to run down into the Friday low and I'll make about 450, or I'll bank whatever I get there, which will give me 0.5% today. But there's nothing much else I'm in at the moment because there's no real extensions going on. So the US dollar yen's the only one that I'm manually managing. The others are all managed by the EA at the moment. So I'm just hoping that the market wakes up and doesn't try and rally this 160 level. But worrying yesterday, the Bank of America calling 161 to 163 as the near side upside target. So the Bank of America believes that this is going to break 160. I suspect they think that that will become the new intervention level. I don't know if I'm going to hold it up to there. I might do, but I'm just going to play it by ear. So yes, just not able to go anywhere. So we got the break. We got the reversal alert yesterday on the potential intervention, the small intervention from the yen, which is retested this morning. So we are making lower highs and lower lows. So it is starting to look slightly bearish, but there is potential for that just to be a flag, which will break and go long to 161. So up to you what you want to do with the yen. I'm going to hold it for the moment. I've got it on the FTMO account. That will automatically stop out at $1,400 anyway. on that account. So 1,400, or did I move it up a bit? $1,600. Look at the spread. Oh no, that's a line. I thought that was spread. I need to change that. Otherwise, I'm going to think that's a spread line. Let's make that purple. So yeah, I've got my stop. Basically, the reason my stop's a little bit over 1% is because I want to be above the 160 level, because that is a big round number, and it's the last intervention. So I think it's 160, 160.1 something, which is about there. So I'm going to see if they will do something at that level, but other than that, I don't know. So yeah, wait and see what happens tomorrow, really. If you got anything else you want to... Oh my God, look at this NASDAQ now. This is a chop fest today. Stay out if you're not in. So if there's anything else you need, I'll be in Discord and Telegram. But nothing else to discuss today, really. Just we've had the news, nothing much is happening. So tomorrow morning, we'll do the midweek analysis, which was looking through every single FX pair, see where everything is, see if there's any good support resistance levels coming up potentially. Yeah, see if we can make some more money and get some more entries. This test is about to finish. 2,082. 2,082 profitable. Wow. Yeah, so it's looking like Euro Pound is the pair for RSI too. But anyway, I'll finish all this testing over the next couple of days, and then I will try and get a video together on it. So I'll try and get some set files together, some data together. I'll put some portfolio analysis together and some set files for the RSI2 strategy, just so you can see how it works, basically. And then if you want to trade it, obviously go ahead. But I'm going to test every FX pair in detail first, so I've got all the data. But test it yourself if you want to. You know, it works. It's very, very good. But it will go into drawdown as well. So it's not the Holy Grail, but looks like it's as close as you'll get. But funnily enough, it's turning a stop loss strategy into a slight position trading strategy, which is what I say, isn't it? Yeah. Pick any strategy that's okay, turn it into a position trading strategy. All of a sudden, it becomes bloody brilliant. So yeah, if you've got any other good strategies which are okay, let me know. Right, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. We'll have a look at what's going on, see where everything's going, and yeah, I will see you next time. Have a good one.